What's up, guys? Mike here again from Meekum Knives, and I'm back. Told you I was coming back soon. Not like I always say, but really meant it this time. This one I want to do an FAQ. Since I've been away for so long, it's been a month. I haven't even been responding to comments. I know. I'm sorry if I missed your comment. I sincerely apologize. It's just been a crazy, crazy schedule. So I figured what I'll do is I went through all of them and I printed out some of the questions I get. Call it a frequently asked questions section. And I'm going to go through them and answer them on camera for you, since I didn't get to respond by typing. Two birds with one stone, I guess. So before I get into this, guys, if you have any questions, put them down below and let me know if you want me to do another FAQ, and I'll do another one for you. And question and answer session for next time. Okay, so getting started. Let's see. First one up, Dr. Dank. That's his username. He says, is the Craftsman grinder good enough to shape a knife? Yes, it is. The Craftsman grinder he's talking about is the 2x42, the grinder that I learned on. And he also says, is this a grinder you would recommend for a beginner? What's the best one under $350? I always, and if you have asked this question before, I've had a few guys ask, if you're on a tight budget, get the Craftsman 2x42. You can go very far with it. I would skip the 1x30. The 2x42 is about $150. You have to order it from Sears or Craftsman.com. Online only, at least in my case it was. You have to get a glass platen for it, though. So go to USA Knife Maker, or anywhere really. I'll leave links for all the stuff down below. Just click the links. I'll make it easier for you guys. But the rest of the money, since it's only $150 and this guy's budget was $350 or less, take the rest of that money and buy belts and steel. Okay? Get comfortable with the fact of you're going to ruin some belts, you're going to ruin some steel, but it's learning. This is knife shop tuition. Think of it that way. Okay, next one up. I'm Big Fudge says, do you make downloadable plans for any of your friction folding knives? No, I don't. And the reason for that is I want to encourage people to make knives, and I'll share the processes and everything. But I don't want to encourage taking other people's ideas, whether it be mine or anybody else's. So when you design a knife, now we're talking about something super primitive, super ancient technology that it's been done a billion times. It's hard to make something that's that old without borrowing from somebody or coming up 100% creative on your own. The idea is to take the principles and make it your own some way, somehow. Okay? Don't borrow anybody's stuff 100%. A lot of people get upset about it. I don't care. Whatever. This isn't my bread and butter. That's what my real job is. I just do this for fun. So I'll teach you how to do it, and you just kind of make it your own. But my first suggestion is, if you want to learn how to make the friction folder, go see Tim Troyer over at Sugar Creek Forge, his YouTube channel. I'll leave a link for that as well. And that's how I learned how to make friction folders. And then I took that design, Tim Troyer's design, and I made it my own. And that's where the agitator came from. Okay, next up, we have Bruce Prosser. He says, not sure of your shop setup, but is your VFD connected to the Delta? The VFD, for those of you that don't know, is a variable frequency drive. And that's what I have back there running on running the belt sander, the belt grinder. The answer is no. I don't run the Delta he's talking about is my old drill press. Right over here. This guy right here. The reason for that is the old Deltas, or most drill presses nowadays, they run on belts and pulleys. So if you want to change the speed, you just change the belt and change the pulley system. Could you run one on a VFD to get the variable speed? I'm sure you could, but I really don't see the need for it. There's no need to make it go that slow or that fast or anything. For that, I just get a purpose-built machine. Let's see. He says, it wouldn't be a K-back because that would be going on my KMG. Excellent stuff again, Mike. Thanks for the tip. Thank you, Bruce. He also put this is referring to the video where I built the shop, referring to my miter saw. I bought the saw to build the shop. I haven't used it since. And he says, get one of those cutting blades on that miter saw, and you could use it to cut steel bars and make knife blanks a little quicker. It's safer than an angle grinder and more efficient. He's right. And I have it stored. It's right up there. I have it stored, and I've been meaning to do that. I just haven't got around to it just yet. For right now, I've been using this guy right here, the portable bandsaw, and that's been suiting my needs pretty well so far. Let's see, Patriot 916. Sweet shop, man. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get out of my cramped garage and build a nice shop. We park both cars in the garage, so I have to put everything away at the end of the night, which gets old if you have a project that lasts more than a day or two. Looks like you guys did a great job building it. Well, thanks, Patriot 916. I appreciate that. And I know the pain very well. My old shop was originally built, and you know my old shop is that little tin shed, originally built just to store a motorcycle in it. So when I decided to turn it into a workshop, I had to take the motorcycle out every single time. Even in the dead of winter, in the snow, I'm pushing a motorcycle across the backyard, and I would have to put blocks so it didn't sink in the mud and everything. It got old quick. Needless to say, I sold the motorcycle to buy the mill. It just wasn't worth it. I'm not asking you to sell your cars, but I know the pain. That's all I'm saying about that one. James Leeton. I think that's Leeton. And guys, if I'm butchering your names, I apologize. So, James says, love these videos. My only question is, does the steel type you are using have the same name around the world or only in the US? I'm over here in Scotland, and your videos inspired me to at least look into starting knife making, but cannot source materials anywhere. I don't know if I'm just not looking the right thing or what. Well, James, as far as I know, the steel designations are the same worldwide. I'm not 100% sure. There are steels that are similar. For example, 154 cm is the equivalent to ATS 34, I think it is. It's essentially the same steel. But as far as I know, 1084 is 1084. It just might be difficult for you to find a local supplier. For something other than 1084, try maybe, and I've already responded to him through Instagram, but maybe try 01 tool steel or something similar. You want a high carbon steel that's easy to heat treat. Look up the heat treat process first, find the easiest one, and then go with that one. Because the heat treat is the heart and soul of the knife. If you're doing it yourself with something like a blowtorch or a homemade forge, you want something very forgivable like 1084, 1075, or 1095 gets a little more complicated. But any of the 10XX series steel, even maybe 5160, isn't too difficult to heat treat. But that's the important part. Look up the heat treat and go from there. Stay away from stainless for now until you either get an oven or you outsource your heat treat. Let's see. Joseph Rector says, time for another video, Mike? It's been 3 weeks. I need my ecom fix. I know. Trust me, I needed my YouTube fix. I missed you guys. So, I'm back, and I explained it in the video I just filmed. Why I've been away. It's just been super hectic and crazy. So, I'm back. Don't worry. I would never just leave you guys hanging like that. Okay, Man Nah says, I have the same center punch. He's referring to this guy here, the Optical center punch. I did this in the list of inexpensive tools that are essential for a knife shop, or nice to have for a knife shop. That's the video he's talking about. He says, but his came with 2 sets of punches and an optical bullseye. So what he's saying is, let me put this list down. It came with 2 of these guys. That's the actual thing that does the punch, and that's the thing that does the aiming, right? And then they go in here, and that's, you hold it down and you smack it. Check that video for how to use it. These things are awesome, by the way. What he says is, I don't know what happened, but the right side hole is off by a hair. He's right. Mine's the same way. I don't know why they do this, but this side, I can fit the aiming device in. Now, you want these snug so they don't wobble on you. So I can fit it in this side, but if I go to do it, it won't fit in this side. I don't know why, maybe storage reasons, who knows, but mine does the same thing. I guess it's some kind of, there's probably a reason for it, and I probably should have looked it up before the video, but I just kind of deal with it. For the price, I think they're $30-something maybe, it's still worth it, even if the other hole is completely useless. Maybe they just did it for symmetry, I don't know. He says, I have to say that it is cheaply made, and one day I'll remake the base out of aluminum or steel. The acrylic bullseye is about the only part that would be hard to reproduce. I agree. If you have the capability of making this, it can be made better. But for the price, you know, whatever the $30 or $40, it's worth it to deal with the cheap Chinese quality, I guess. It still works pretty well. Okay. I have a couple of questions that I get a lot, and no particular names associated with it. First up, is a 1x30 a good starter grinder? Yes and no. I always recommend, as I mentioned earlier, the 2x42 by Craftsman. That's when I really started seeing a difference in my grinding. The 1x30 is very hard to grind on. It just doesn't have the power and the capability. If you do, however, decide to start on a 1x30, and it can be done. I've seen guys make some stuff on a 1x30. You want to do your aggressive shaping and contouring with a very aggressive belt. Since you don't have the power, you have to go up in aggression on the belt. So instead of using a 60 grit belt like I do on the big guy here for all my rough grinding, you want to go down to like a 36 grit. So you're going to have the belts doing the work instead of the motor. It's very hard to get a perfect flat. It's just a difficult little machine to master. And especially when you're just starting out, it just makes for a very frustrating experience. If you can't afford it and that's all you can afford, then by all means, start grinding some steel and get your mechanics down. Get your left to right hands to speak to each other and start making the same motions. You want to build up that muscle memory. So that's the yes part, and the no part is it's just underpowered. Again, that 2x42 is $150. Well worth it. What is my favorite steel? That's a tough one. As far as working, the steels that I've used so far are 1084, D2, CPM 154, AEBL, and I've just started working with some CTS XHP. As far as knife steels that I would buy from Spyderco or something like that, I kind of like the high-end stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm spoiled or something. S35VN or M390. I would never want to have to grind it though, because it's a lot of work, and it just doesn't respond very well. And a lot of work translates into more cost for you guys, and I don't want to kill you with cost. As far as a knife maker goes, CPM 154 by far. It is one of the most forgiving steels. It finishes very nicely. It takes a mirror polish, and it's fairly easy to sharpen, and it's a good all-around steel. It's just like maybe the best of both worlds, if you want to call it that. D2 is actually a lot of fun too, but it kind of laughs at sandpaper, so it's more work. That may change, of course. As more steels I experience, that might change my mind. So, getting rambly. Where can I buy a knife from you? And this is another reason that I haven't been around, is because I've been trying to make a bunch of knives, and this year, part of my resolution, I guess, is to take knife making a little more seriously, and I want to build a website. So I've been looking into it lately. This way I don't have to send you... some of you guys don't deal with Instagram, and I can't tell you how many times people ask me, where can I buy a knife? And I got to either turn them away and tell them I don't do custom orders, or I have to say, yeah, it's on Instagram, and then they tell me they don't do Instagram, they don't do Facebook or any of that stuff. Now what? So the only solution that I could think of was build a website. So I started the process on that, and hopefully get that done this year and put some knives on it. So as you can see, I've been sitting on a bunch of knives, and this way when the website opens, I have something to stock it with. No promises yet, and no release dates yet, but I will get it done this year. Last question. How do you like the Ryobi drill press? The Ryobi is that guy right there. It's the first drill press I've bought when I started knife making. And the reason why people ask about the Ryobi all the time is because Home Depot typically carries 1 or 2 drill presses. And it's like $100 at Home Depot. So that's what I did. I just I didn't know anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Knocked into the microphone. I didn't know anything about drill presses, so I just went to Home Depot and I bought one. That was it. For fixed blades, guys, it's perfectly fine. It'll do everything you need it to do for fixed blades. Once you start getting into folders, if you need more precision, that's when it gets to be a little bit of an issue. For the money, it's okay. I would recommend, just like any other machine, buy the most machine you can for the money. Okay, so if you have $300 to spend, but you only want to spend $100, spend the $3 and get a good drill press. You know, even if you have to buy an old one, buy a used one. As you know, my surface grinder is like 60 years old, but it still runs awesome. So sometimes newer isn't better. You just want quality. And now, as far as that goes, like I said, for fixed blades, it's fine. For $100, it'll get you there. Going back, would I buy another one? Nah. Right now, as you can see, I use it just for. I gotta take my little microphone now. Just for tapping. See, there's my little tapping head on it. That's all I use it for now. Let me put you back down. But yeah, that's it, guys. So if you have any questions you want me to do, let me know if you want to see another one of these FAQ videos, and I'll do the same thing. I don't know how to screen grab them, so I just printed them out. Little copy and paste action. But I'll answer some of your questions. If it turns into a huge tutorial, I'll let you know. Like, listen, maybe this one will be a tutorial. No guarantees that I get to everybody. If you ask me, you know, what's the meaning of life, I could try to answer it, and I'll you know what, I'll just do the best I can. How about that? Alright, guys, this is Mike from Ecom Knives, and I'll catch you on the next video. Nice to be back.